Hello and welcome into the Ranch Sitdown. Our guest today from Fort Worth, Texas. It's Cameron Smith.
See the moonlight cast a shadow down upon the placid lake. It's as quiet as a whisper on a pillow. It's a formless darkness taking shape. What makes the future so forgettable? Who keeps the past there in his place? Through the frenzied pace of time untenable, tracing storylines upon your face. All upon her face, yeah, upon your face. Tracing storylines upon her face. Behold, the days behave like cattle, lost like stars against the sun. Well, God's a lonesome cowboy in weary saddle. We'll be driving those days till the darkness come. Until the darkness come. Till the darkness come. We'll be driving those days till the darkness come. See, the sun has smudged the blackness with first lights of morning touch. In the sky we'll host that daily pageant of purple, crimson, orange, and such. Like golden rust, like golden rust. We'll be driving that herd to the morning sun. Where did we begin this journey? Where does the path lay itself low? On the western front like a fire burning, with daylight left a white hot coal. Behold the night in all directions, the moon which God hath hung in place, with her left hand like some mirror's reflection, to wax and wane, pass and fade. Oh, to pass and fade, yeah, to pass and fade. Over a formless darkness taking shape. A formless darkness taking shape. It's a formless darkness taking shape.
Very nice. Very nice. Cameron Smith hanging out with us here on the Ranch Sitdown from Fort Worth, Texas. You were saying that's some new stuff there.
Yeah, there's a record that I'm working on right now called Golden Rust. Takes its title from the lyrics of that song. That's a song called Shadows of the Moonlight.
That is really cool, man.
Thanks, man.
How many times have you been compared to Townes Van Zandt? which is I know an awful thing to hear, isn't it?
I'll take it as many times as I can, but
but you do have the stylings of that. But the interesting story behind you is that's not where you started musically.
No.
Like the almost complete opposite.
Right, yeah. I mean, I was always into songwriters like Townes from the second that I heard him, and I was kind of turned on to him in my early 20s. But before that, in middle school, I got real into Bob Dylan, and so I liked folk music and stuff. But I think I took one guitar lesson with this fella, Denver Williams, who lives in town. Our families are old friends. My mom's a school teacher and taught him and stuff. He's a few years older. And I I took that one lesson and then I broke my wrist and then kind of didn't play guitar again. and I just started skateboarding all the time and got into music.
Seems safer, yeah.
Well, it wasn't the pain that I was worried about. It was like, it was a buddy of mine got better at guitar and like however long I had that cast on.
Yeah.
And so it was just like, like being young kids and competing. I was like, well, I could skateboard better, so I'll just focus on that, And then, but we still hung out, and he played in bands and stuff, and so eventually I wound up in a place where I was like hanging out with his band and going to shows. They were playing like metal or something, and we saw this at Ridgely Theater. We saw this punk band where like half of the audience was on stage with the band at the same time.
Wow.
And I'm like, that looks like fun, you
Right.
know? And I can kind of write words because my mom, she wrote poetry and stuff at like the kitchen table and would have like make little A-B kind of templates for me and let me try when I was a kid. We had one of those 80s like electric typewriters.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff. But anyways, like oh man, I'm like totally losing track of what I was saying. But I guess like I got into punk rock that way. Like it was just like I didn't have time to learn to play guitar or learn to like. I just wanted to be in a band already. You know what I mean? And it was like, well, I can yell and I can put words together.
Loud, chunky guitar riffs and yell. And
yeah, I didn't even have to play the guitar.
You were just
like
singer.
I was just jumping around.
Oh,
like,
were you?
like yeah, doing like flips and.
Oh, good God.
Dude, it was wild and like
Ollie on stage.
yeah. At 17, we'd play like half-hour shows, and by the time it was done, like my head would be pounding. I was 17, so like there was no future.
Oh yeah, you weren't gonna do this at 30. There's no way.
Yeah.
So how long did you do the punk thing?
Well, only till I was about 19 or so, and then I started teaching myself guitar. Mm-hmm. To be honest, it was. Again, like I think like a lot of my path early on was guided by like impatience and necessity.
Right, yeah.
And so it was just like that was what was there, and it seemed like the easiest way to just get started today, you know?
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, well, I'll do that. And then slowly kind of made my way back to where I was inspired by music, you know, which was like through listening to lots of classic stuff and like, and yeah, like Bob Dylan kind of stuff, you know, just like one guy and a guitar. And, but I had no idea how you did that, you know?
Right.
And so, and I didn't have time to figure it out. And I just knew where I was and what I was going to do, you know, next. So about 19, I was tired of booking tours for the band. Like I had taken all of that on myself,
Oh,
you know?
man,
and in
yeah.
that scene, DIY stuff, that's the whole ethos, you know?
Yeah.
So, it was fun, but it was exhausting. And it also became like I wanted to be creative all the time. And I was dependent on, you know, like guys in the band to help write the songs and to make it onto the trips and to do anything, basically, you know. It's like, so I started teaching myself guitar, like, slowly, like, while still doing that. And then eventually wound up in a garage band and kind of learned more about, like, writing and playing in that.
Right.
This band, War Party, that we played around town quite a bit.
Yeah.
Made a little bit of a name for ourselves around town. But, yeah.
So,
but I was way drunk my whole time.
weren't we all? It's okay. We got to learn at some point, man. It's better to get that over with early, though.
Yeah.
Because when if you're like 50 and 60 and you're that guy, it's just sad.
Yeah. Sometimes, there's, I think there's a Cormac McCarthy quote. It's like, you never know what worse fate your bad luck has kept you from or like saved you from.
Right,
you know?
yeah.
It's like, man,
Boy, no kidding.
How many times?
Was this a difficult transition for you, like in the songwriting styles?
I don't think so. Because I had kind of always, it was something that I always listened. Like, in fact, I didn't, when I started playing in like punk bands, like I barely listened to that.
Oh, really?
You know, I just had seen it and it looked cool.
Looked
and
fun,
I was like,
and here we go.
Yeah, I'm like, 17 and my parents were like freshly divorced and it was like it felt like when you're wild kids, you know what I mean? Like you can take yourself all over the country. We do like 60 days and like 60 shows in 60 days, like both coasts, you know what I mean? And like playing VFWs and basements and
God
stuff.
bless your liver. Wow.
Yeah,
that's
man.
hard.
I know, yeah. I'm glad you can't do that anymore.
No.
Yeah, but that's kind of, so I started in such a weird way because it was like I kind of started and immediately was like, well, how do I tour and how do I put out records but had no idea how to like do anything musically, you know what I mean? But the stuff I was really into and was listening to was, it was a lot of, like me and my dad would listen to a lot of like Waylon and Johnny Cash and like Hank Williams and So I really love like classic stuff, from the 50s to like the 80s and even 90s and stuff. But like as far as, country and then Americana, there's so many. My mom would listen to that Passionate Kisses. Lucinda Williams wrote that, but the Mary Chapin Carpenter version, she'd listen to it on repeat, what I mean, and stuff like that. So I get it from all these different directions. And my grandparents love Roger Miller, and it's just like that was the music that I kind of grew up with. So when I started playing guitar, I gravitated to the stuff that was like me, but was also influenced in those same areas, like the Replacements, if you ever heard of them, things like that. That's kind of where I'd start to gravitate towards, you know what I mean? And I don't know, it just took like a lot of years of growing up and like slowly getting more and more tired of scheduling band practices towards like, like I finally make it back full circle to that kind of stuff that I have been inspired by. And it's easy, I guess, like I had listened to it for so long and had taught myself, even in that punk band, like I'm like, referencing lyrics from that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it just was a natural, like it was kind of like just, how you like start to look, like every teenager looks nothing like their parents, but when they start to get like 30, you're like,
but like we always rebel from what they listened to and what they watched and what, were their interests. We always want to do something different, and we always inevitably head back that way.
Yeah.
It's like when you're growing up, you want to get out of your hometown, and once you're grown, you want to get back into your hometown.
Exactly.
It's the weirdest circle of life thing. Yeah.
Yeah. We kind of grew up like in Johnson County, like in between Crowley and Joshua. And when I was a kid, especially being a skateboarder, it's like I wanted to be down here where there's like concrete and there's stuff to, you know what I mean? Or like go take it to the skate park. And these days, like every time I have a show in Bluffdale this weekend, every time I drive out west, I'm just like, we should have bought a house out
right.
here. Like, you know what I mean? Like well.
I know, it's like my wife and I have been looking for another house, and it's like it has to be west of 35. Like it has to be west of 35. Yeah. And the further west we can go, the better.
Yeah.
There's just something about being out there around nothing.
Right, yeah.
That becomes everything.
Yeah, and it's like driving in the city is a nightmare. Like driving out there is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like,
I'll drive 2 hours out there, no problem.
Nothing.
I drive 30 minutes here, and I'm just screaming and hollering at myself. Yep. Why am I doing this?
Yes.
It is.
That's exactly right.
So what are those artists that you listen to now for inspiration?
I mean, I still listen to a lot of like Townes Van Zandt, Guy Clark, Blaze Full. I mean, those are like kind of the standard love them Texas poet guys. But I listen to a lot of my friends and folks that like I kind of grown up with. I'm real proud of Vincent Emerson's new stuff's great.
Yeah.
Like I got a buddy in Tulsa named Carl Carbonell who I also met at one of those Zach Pack, John Prine kind of things. And his songwriting is so out there, but it's awesome, man. It's really cool, and like he's got a great tight band out in Tulsa. I go and play with them from time to time, and I was just at Mercury Lounge with them a few weeks back. And yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
so it was a good time.
You have the weirdest eclectic music taste, and I love that about you.
Yeah, I've always liked kind of everything.
I'm right there with you. Yeah, that's a good feeling. So we've been playing your song "Poison Summer."
Oh yeah.
Now, and I hear that came from a point where you were trying to write a song a day.
That is true.
Impossible.
Yeah, that was.
Did you find that out? That was impossible.
Well, like kind of, yeah. Because the second song, so that was a September. I don't. There was something that I had decided like I was going to do this challenge. I did that this year where I was like, I'm going to try to do one a week, and I made it about halfway, same as I did in September.
A week.
I made it halfway through the year actually.
Oh wow!
Congrats. Yeah. But it's all like we were talking about before. It's the kind of stuff where I have to sort through it. I'd have to take stock of what I actually have.
Right.
My process tends to be as I'm writing a song, it's like then most of my income is made going out and playing gigs, on a patio or something, and which is a great way to get your 10,000 hours in. And I'm not too proud for it. Like I have fun trying to entertain different people, who should be indifferent. But like. I'm keep sidetracking myself.
We all do that. It's fine.
We're talking about Poison Summer.
Yeah.
Right. So when I did that challenge, I wasn't holding myself like, at gunpoint or anything. Like I was just like, let's try this. Let's see what we can do. And the first song I wrote was a song called Darker It Grows that I recorded at Niles City Sound. And that's become like kind of pretty, like I play it all the time. Most shows, more shows than not, I play that song. So that was one that came from that exercise I was really happy with. And Poison Summer came out very much the same way. But like day 2, I was already writing about how there was no time to be writing.
Like I'm out of songs. Yeah. Hey, that's a song. I could write a song about being out of songs.
Like that was how crunched that day was. And it wound up being a terrible month to choose for it too. Like so much just bad stuff had come up, and it was like, all right, so I finally let myself off the hook on it.
Sometimes that can be the best thing for you.
Yeah.
Is to write about the bad things happening.
Well, that's true.
It seems like more people relate to that now.
Yeah. Songs are weird, man. Like they all come however they want, and they're like kids like that too, where it's like they sort of resemble you, but they're sort of their own people, and you also have no clue what they're gonna be.
Yeah,
you just know that you're trying to get them safely into the world. But like that one, came in a time where like if you listen to Darker It Grows, there's a lot of like very folky, songs about like nature and the elements and things like that, and then Poison Summer is just this like Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty-ish rock kind of song.
It really is.
It's like about hard to say.
You don't even know what it's about, do you?
I know the broad strokes of what it's about. What's weird is like the verses there's like some sort of story going on, and that whatever that story is, I'm not entirely sure. You know what I mean? But I know that where it came from was the same place of like it just being in that everybody had it was 2021, September 2021. So many people, I had so many friends that had been dealing with loss or had lost, and there was just this like feeling of like we're this new lost generation or something.
Right? Yeah.
And it was hot, September. You're just tired of all the heat from
You're
the summer.
done with the summer,
yeah. It was like, I just feel this melting feeling all over, and that was that tune, I guess.
So are you okay? That's the next question. Wow.
Yeah, I'm all right.
So what is your process when you're writing a song? Do you schedule time, or is it one of those where kind of a voice speaks to you and let's start writing?
So like I said, this year, for part of it, I tried again to like hold myself to, we'll do a song a week challenge. But what I find is like my natural rhythm is more like, because I'm writing all the time. Like I had mentioned, my mom kind of taught me to process through writing. So I had been writing words since, as long as I can remember. And of course, all that was terrible when you were young. But it just became something you do,
Yeah.
And so my natural rhythm is probably to do about like a song a month. And like last year, that's about what I did. I think I wrote like something like 16 songs last year, so a little more than a song a month. Inspiration hits. Like I had this song that's on the new record called "Remind Me Why I Care" that literally just came to me all at once in the shower. Like I got out of the shower and it
just started writing.
I had the melodies buzzing in my head as I'm like washing my hair, and then words start to stick to it like it's like a piece of gum or something. I don't know.
So you probably have to get that down right then or it's gone.
Yeah, a lot of times I'll just like put on the voice note or just pick up the guitar and play it. And that one particularly, it's like the melody was so the words in the melody are so intertwined. Yeah, it's interesting when they happen like that. They don't always happen like that. And part of you is inclined to love them more because they feel like they came from some ethereal
There's a muse
realm.
somewhere.
Yeah. But then another part of you, the part of me that has like had to work hard for everything my whole life and nothing came natural to, doesn't feel like I can take total ownership of those ones. So I'm also like, favoritism, it can be weird with songs, but but it is always a treat to be doing something else entirely, and then boom, one falls on your lap or your head or whatever it is. But yeah, so I don't necessarily like. I know some folks who will do that. Well, there'll be like from 10 a.m. to like 1 or something. I'm just sitting at the desk writing. But what I usually do is like I have to get a little bit lost and sort of forget that it's mine. Like I have to hear it as if it's coming from somewhere else.
That's pretty cool.
Right. So just play around. Usually that's it. It's like if you just wait for it long enough, like.
I know it sounds spacey when you say it out loud, but it's really cool, and it happens to a lot of guys and gals. It really does. That's why you've been blessed with this gift, and I've been blessed with the gift to push the button play. It's a pretty big deal. But it is so wild. So when you're creating music, do you have a goal for that music? Like, what do you want people to hear or feel?
I find in a general sense, like, I think that I've found music to be incredibly comforting and useful in my life. And when I think of, like, what I'm endeavoring towards with my songs, it's like I want those songs to be useful to people, too. You know what I mean? I don't know, like we were talking about them being kids, like, you can have intentions for them, but you can't, at least I've never been the kind who can, like, force them to be something. Like, every time I'm like, I'm gonna write a song that's got like a really great hook, you know what I mean? Like take Billy's Feel For You or something like that. If I was like, I love that song, and I want a song that's like that, if I went out and intended to, I would wind up with a song that has not a chorus at all.
Like rambling line.
Like line. It would just be like a like a long. I don't know, like that just is how it seems to feel. It's like I can start off with an intention, but it's like what I wind up with often doesn't feel like it has much concern for what my intention was.
That's got to be, though, honestly, Cameron, a fun journey for you.
Yeah.
As you're creating the song and it's taking you to different places and different off-ramps, it's like, well, let's see where this goes.
Yeah.
That's got to be pretty cool.
It can be, but all these exercises, like, you're always, again, like, like I say, I've learned everything the hard way. So it's like I'm constantly trying to figure out, like, how do I do that?
Right.
Like how do I decide exactly, but so far, what really guides me is does it feel right? And so the more I try to force something to be a certain way, if that feeling is off, it's like I'm always going to go with what feels right, and that's how I wind up with something that I'm like, well, it might have mystery to me even still, but like it feels like it's what I was supposed to draw forth or dig up or whatever you want to say.
You hear a lot of voices, don't you, Cameron?
Yeah.
Are they talking now? Are we good?
Yeah.
That's wild, man. So, like, if you ever were to write a book about writing songs, it'd be like 75 different volumes, and it would be just incredible.
I can't even imagine. Like, my wife and I were talking about writing books the other day because, like, we both kind of journal every day. I just like a page, and sometimes that page feels great. Like, it's like you need to set your intentions and clear out your mind, and other times, like, I'll be 2 sentences in, and I'm just like, I just want to get to the next chore on my list today.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like,
start
what
reading.
do I have to write?
Start reading it the next day, and it's like milk, eggs. Wait, what
I
is
don't
this?
read no journals, man. No. like that's part of the contract I have with myself is like we're not looking back at this. Like
really?
Maybe if. Yeah, I use it as like it's like a space to clear out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Like, so
yeah.
I'm just like, you can write whatever self-centered, like every sentence starts with I kind of crap in there, and but leave it there and burn it.
Then it's done.
Yeah.
So
I won't really burn it. Maybe I need it when I'm like 60. I'll hit a dry spell or something.
Right. Yeah. There'll be a whole bunch of songs in there. It's
what
like,
was
oh my god.
Yeah.
So if you weren't doing music, what would be the other passion for you?
That's a good question. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I really have much of a it's a terrible thing, but it's like I never had much of a plan B, and they say that's good, because if you have a plan B, you might use it.
Right.
But at the same time, like I think about it. The older you get, you're like, well, what should I be doing? And before I was obsessed with music as a young kid. I was obsessed with skateboarding, and I was these kinds of things. And obviously, I'm not going back to that.
Right.
Like I still ride around, but we're not making a career there. So I don't know. Like I just have to do some construction or just put some muscle into something.
Just go all in on the music thing. Is what it sounds like.
That's what I'm trying to keep myself stranded here.
Right.
Because then it feels right, and like, so I don't know, like you also have to wait for fate and fortune to affirm these things, but But in the meantime, I can kind of eke out. That's one good thing about the Metroplex is like you can find work as a musician. You know, like there's so many of us that are just going around playing barbecue shacks and whatever, and it's a good way. I think some folks get comfortable there, and maybe some folks that's all their aspirations bring them to.
Maybe,
you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm aiming for more. My goal's always been more than that, but I'm also appreciative of that.
You don't want to sound conceited right now. I understand that, but you're doing this for a career.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you want to be heard everywhere.
Sure.
I mean, that's a goal, and it's not. There's nothing selfish about that whatsoever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what we're doing this for.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. You know, and obviously, there's a lot of people making music and trying to get attention. I think that like if you're just trying to get attention, at least for me, I'm not very interested in that. You know, like I'm interested, like I said, like in music that's useful, like stuff that works. You know?
Yeah, well, that's the thing is you can get attention, but then you got to look at yourself in the mirror.
Right,
and there's a difference there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And I think if I, you know, like part of it is like I know, you know, I'm like 35 years old. It's like I know that I've not really spent my life like trying to become like some mega artist, right? Who's going to sell out like stadiums. But it would be, you know, my heroes like John Prine or somebody like that, where it's like him talking about. There was an interview and they were like, "Well, would you like it if Willie Nelson cut one of your songs?" He's like, "Absolutely, I'd like that. Like I could stay at home in my kitchen playing songs while he goes out and makes us thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he can play the show to.
Like I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'll stay home.
I'll buy a ticket to the show.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and watch it from back there, and it's like, yeah, I honestly. You know, like that would be great for me. Same kind of career, you know, like I'd love to play to small rooms of people who have found use for those songs in their lives.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And maybe sell one or two.
Create some really cool moments for people.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Cameron, how about one more song, sir?
Sure, yeah.
Tell us what you're going to play for us here.
I'm going to play a song called Not in Our Stars. I didn't get into the whole stories of Shadows of the Moonlight, but it's a song that is from this record that I've been working on, Golden Rust, and it kind of took on a life of its own. It became like almost this concept album as we had gotten into pre-production and the nitty-gritty of it, and now I told my dad it's like a country western Dark Side of the Moon or something. But this song is the most rocking song from the whole thing. I actually wrote it like the day before we went into the studio once I realized that we had this concept album on our hands, and I wanted something that was at least aware of that. And anyways, there's a whole lot of like references to songs you might hear on the radio and classic literature and stuff like that, and it all ties into the character arcs, but the record's still a ways off, so I won't go too deep into that.
Okay.
It's like this. Hold on, this thing's out of tune real quick. It's because I had it all capoed up.
Oh, yeah. Well, this room doesn't help either.
I was like, I could play through it, and then I was like, wait, we don't have to.
No, we don't. We don't.
All right, here we go. Be good. Well, the road goes on forever, and the party never ends. Somehow goodbye ain't ever good enough, no matter how many times you said it. But time wasn't all we had once. The time to get there and back again. Don't let the day go down in the twilight of bound to both be bathing in it. Yeah, when the sun goes down, the passing cars poke holes in the night and call them stars. Is the taillights rolled on your face like sin, flowing like the blood that we've been baptized in? You might think that nothing matters, you'd be right again. But get your hands out your pockets, we've got money to spend. When I was a child, and the child was enough,
My dad bought tickets to a circus, but he never wound up taking us. But once I saw the tiger, he was sleeping on the lamb, and what framed that fearful cemetery was a word of Twilight's hands. It ain't personal, it's not business, but maybe it's time to forget this. It will get in the way until the way's just what it is. I know that the fault's not in our stars, but in these brains that torture us for stories and paint those lines we keep driving in. But press your foot on the gas and let the miles pass. Oh, I feel fate homing in. So let's get. The sun speeds up, the fading stars are swerving like drunks coming home from the bars as the taillights rolled on your face like sin. Blowing the fires we've been baptized in. You might think nothing matters, what a blessing that curse is. But get your hands on the wheel, we've got somewhere to get. Oh, you might say that nothing matters, and you're right again. But get your hands out your pockets, we've got wheels to spin.
Very nice, very nice. Cameron Smith hanging out with us here on the Ranch Sitdown from Fort Worth, Texas. Got a new album he's working on. Please make sure you send that to me when you're done with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love to hear it and play it and all that fun stuff and make
to.
you a big, huge mega star. Sorry, it's going to happen.
Well,
man, I appreciate you taking some time to chat with us today. It's been an honor to have you in the studio.
Thanks
and
for having me on, Shayne.
Best of luck to you, buddy.
Hey, man, have a good one.
Thank you.